Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And for this movie review, which, of course, after reviewing that horrible piece of shit film called The Quest, but I figured after watching a horrible movie, want to watch a movie that review a movie that I absolutely love. Um, Now the reason why I'm at this angle because. Well, the movie that I'm reviewing is one of the posters I have behind me, and that's that movie. So, Constantine from 2005, and and Keanu Reeves playing John Constantine. I love this movie, and I would say, yeah, and I probably say that a lot of people don't like this movie at all. But it gets a lot of hate, which I have no idea why. And first of all, right off the bat, Keanu Reeves, I thought he did a fantastic job as John Constantine. And it's also a film it's by Vertical Comics, but it's also by DC as well. And there are DC movies that I do enjoy. I enjoy Tim Burton's Batman, and then the sequel, Batman Returns, the Superman 1, 2, and 3. Not the fourth one, though, but Red, the one with Bruce Willis, and I even say and probably people probably get pissed at me for it, but I even say I liked Green Lantern, the 2011 film with Ryan Reynolds. I'm sorry, yeah, I even like that movie, but this one, Constantine. I would say it's very underrated, and it's a comic book movie that I've enjoyed, and I don't understand why this film gets so much hate. I will never understand why, because I love this movie, and it's definitely one of my favorite comic book movies, and slash underrated movies. Because I would definitely put this on my list of underrated films, without a doubt, and. I don't know more what I could say about Constantine. Keanu Reeves, I thought he did such a fantastic job as John Constantine. And what I have here is I have the two disc deluxe edition, and which this movie has a lot of features. I mean, if I pull it out like this, it even comes with a small comic book called Constantine Hellblazer, which you can see the logo right there, Vertigo and DC Comics. And of course, on the back over here it's another DC comic movie, V for Vendetta. And it's a good little comic. You can see about it. Just really see. Shows like about that. So it's a good little thing. It's a good thing it came with the 2-disc edition. And just to show. Yeah. How it shows representation of heaven and hell. Which is also another thing about this movie. For a movie that's a good a representation of heaven and hell, I think this film also did a good job with as well. A representation of heaven and hell, and this has a lot of features. Like for the first movie, for the first disc, which is a commentary with director Francis Lawrence, and right off the bat, Francis Lawrence directed this film, and this was his first film that he directed. I thought he did such a fantastic job with, because then Francis Lawrence would later on go on to direct I Am Legend with Will Smith, and of course he would go on to direct the sequels to the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and then Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2. So yeah, if if anyone is a fan of Francis Lawrence and the sequels to the Hunger Games, people should check out this film because this is the first film that Francis Lawrence has directed. People should probably, if anyone who's a fan of the Hunger Games and its sequels that Francis Lawrence have directed, they should check out this film right here. This was his first film. He did such a great job with this film. So this disc one has a commentary with the director, producer Akivia Goldsman, which he's been a producer on a lot of films as well. Screenwriter Kevin Broadbent, if I can mispronounce the last name, and Frank Capello, and it has a Perfect Circle passive music video, trailers. And on disc 2 has an 18 minutes of deleted scenes, an alternate ending, Conjuring Constantine, the production of Hell, documentary gallery, director's confidential, collision with heaven, with evil, holy relics, Imagining the Underworld, documentary gallery, hellscape, visualizing vermin, warrior wings, unholy abduction, Constantine cosmology, foresight, the power of pre-visualization. So it has a lot of features for this 2-disc edition. And I would say this film deserves a 2-disc edition, which I'm very happy to have. And of course, when the film came out, which is why I'm reviewing. That's why I decided to review, because the release date was February 18th, which is today. So that's why I wanted to review it. And it debuted at number 2 at the box office with 30 million. 30 some, I think it was 30 million, and a budget of 100 million, which I would say the money was used well in the film. But domestically it made 75 million, but worldwide, with the help of overseas, worldwide it made 230 million, which I would say, yeah, it's a slight disappointment domestically, but with the help of overseas for making an overall total of 230 million, I can let that go. But and it also came out. It got mixed reviews as well. I guess 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I disagree with. I think it's way too low for this film. There's much more higher rating, and even has a 6 on IMDb. I think that's way too low as well. I think that deserves much higher rating on IMDb. To me, I would give a much more higher rating of both ones. But I just don't get why this film. The thing is, I just don't get why it gets hated on a lot. I know some people like this film, and even consider it an underrated film as well, because I would agree with. I think I'm only just me and a few other people that do think it's a good movie, and I just really love this film because I like a lot of the ideas with it. Although, yeah, some people will complain about the character of Constantine, because in the comics he's British. He wears that brown trench coat, which he doesn't here. Yeah, in the movie he's not British. He doesn't wear the trench coat, but he's a chain smoker. I think that's another key thing for the character. Of course, that's the one thing my brother disagrees with. He says that they did how they made Constantine in this film poorly because one of those reasons. That's why he says that they did a bad representation of Constantine, which I disagree with him wholeheartedly. I think Keanu Reeves did a great job, and yes, I also have heard about the TV show Constantine, which I think only lasted about one season because it got canceled. Yeah, that fixed up because he's British with a brown trench coat and smokes, and it's like, okay. But so first of all, I was never interested in that TV show, Constantine, and I was never interested in that show. I even saw the trailers for it. I did not interest me at all. I was never interested in those live action DC TV shows like Arrow, The Flash, or Smallville. You know, those kind of shows, though. I was never interested to begin with, and seeing the commercials for Constantine, I was not interested at all at either. I thought Keanu Reeves did a much great job than the guy who plays the guy Constantine in the TV show. But that's just me, though. But I thought Keanu Reeves did played Constantine just perfectly well. I thought he did a great job with it. Sorry, but out of the cast, I thought the rest of the cast, I thought they did I thought they did fine as well. You have Rachel Weisz, famous, probably well known from starring in with the Mummy and the Mummy Returns. I thought she did perfectly fine in the film as well. Shia LaBeouf is in this film, which now probably people nowadays probably don't like him anymore because how the way he's gone a little bit loopy with that, especially with that show that not that show, but that thing he's been doing with a do it. It just shows that Shia LaBeouf has gone off the deep end. But even with that, I always minded Shia LaBeouf as an actor, and when he had a little bit of role in iRobot, which I liked him in. Even his role in this film, I thought he was fine as well. I liked him in Disturbia. The Transformers films, I thought maybe I say I didn't mind him in the film in those as well, but I liked him in Disturbia, and I even minded him in this, and I thought he did fine in this film. He's not in the film too much though, but because plays as Chaz, he's the cab driver who you could say wants to be like Constantine, do all this stuff and demon stuff, so that he wants to do. Also, you have Dijmon Hounsou as Papa Midnight. Tilda Swinton as Gabriel, which later on she's gonna be in the new Marvel Doctor Strange as the Ancient One. Even Peter Stormare plays the devil himself. I thought he was an interesting choice to play the devil, or Lucifer is what he's called. And when I speaking with the name Lucifer, I've also heard about the new TV show Lucifer as well. Wasn't interested in that show as well. So, but comparing that, I thought Peter Stormare was an interesting choice to play the devil or Lucifer. So yeah, so you got a pretty good cast as well in this film. So the whole story with Constantine is that when he was a kid, he starts seeing stuff that nobody should not be seeing, like seeing all the demons and stuff, and his parents didn't believe him. They have him getting all this treatment, and then all of a sudden that he was dead for 2 minutes, but it was saying that he committed suicide or something. So even though he saw he saw hell, he was in hell for 2 minutes, but he came back, and since then he's been deporting demons back into hell, basically trying to buy his way into heaven, and he's not. And no matter what he does, even if he does all these good things, he's still not getting to heaven because what he did when he was a kid. But I love the ideas and even though the visual effects, I thought they were wonderful in this film. Yes, most of them were CG. I thought this was for this film. I thought the CG in this film was very well done, and I would say spot on. I would say, yeah. Usually, I'm always complaining about CG nowadays, but in this film, I could make an exception. I thought the CG in this film was really well done. So, some of the images I thought they were great to look at. In the beginning, where there was this. Well, first of all, it starts off with there's this guy. If it was in Mexico or something like that. This guy, he digs up a spear with a Nazi flag, and he gets makes possessed because he runs, and then all of a sudden he gets hit by a car. The front of the car almost gets split in half, but the guy is fine, and he still keeps on going. And which, of course, he's carrying the spear, which, of course, is the Spear of Destiny, which is the spear that killed Jesus. The blood of God or something like that. And then it shows when we get to this apartment complex where this girl gets possessed by a demon, and there's this reverend. There's this reverend that is a friend of Constantine. He calls him in, and when he comes to confronts the demon, the possessed girl, and especially the lines that he says, I thought were really fun. He's This is Constantine. John Constantine, asshole. So he does the performs the exorcism, and he has like them get a large mirror to lure the demon out. And when he does, it's like you don't see the demon doesn't come out in plain sight, but we see the demon come out within the mirror. I thought the way how it was well done with the visual, like it shows the demon from within the mirror trying to get out, and they goes and toss the demon out within the mirror, and it falls, and explodes. So he deported that demon back into hell. Good visual effects, and then he's been later shows he goes to see these because he's been diagnosed with lung cancer because he's a chain smoker. So he's coughing up blood, and so he's developed lung cancer. And he's like, I've done all these things that no one would have died for, and then I'm gonna get done in by this. So, and then we get to Rachel Weisz's character, Angelina. She finds out that her sister had died because her twin sister, or I should say identical twin sister. She was in a psychic hospital. She jumped off a roof, psychiatric or mental hospital. She jumped off the roof and lands in this pool. They say that she committed suicide, and she doesn't believe that because she's saying that she would never kill herself. And then later, Constantine goes and talks to the library, goes and talk with Tilda Swinton as Gabriel, who's this angel. Kind of say like this asshole, like you say, angel, because they both chat about with Constantine saying that I've done all this stuff, but I'm still not getting to heaven. And she's saying you can't buy your way into heaven. You have to do like something like a normal sacrifice and stuff like that, or self-sacrifice to say. And even when Gabriel goes right up to him and says, "You're fucked." And then this when she before he meets with Rachel Weisz briefly though, but he leaves, and I thought this was another good a good scene because he goes in he's on the sidewalk, and he goes and fights with this guy that's completely made entirely of bugs. And yes, this is a CG image though. I thought that worked really well. Like how the scene was made, I could say, but he's fighting because he has this little screeching beetle that try to like push it back, and he runs into the traffic, and as the you say the man bug, I would say, I don't know, but it's the man of bugs. But he's about to get Constantine, and all of a sudden he gets hit by a car, and all this just splat, and then Constantine's trying to step on the remainder of the bugs, and even one thing that looked like a crab, I think it was. And he also he shows he has another buddy of his that gives him all these things, like he gives him this all these things like the beetle, or some holy water, and or even this thing called the dragon's breath. So he's like guy who gives him all this holy stuff, you could say. And the guy, the name I think it was like Beeman. And I like the idea that his friend works like behind a bowling alley. He works at bowling alley, works like behind the racks and stuff. Which I like. Oh, okay, I like the idea his friend works behind a bowling alley. I like the idea of it. And then he goes and talks to because she's Rachel Weisz's character looks at the video security cameras, and her sister whispers Constantine. So she goes and visits Constantine. And she wants to know about. She wants to tell him about her sister, and he says, "I'll be sure it'd be kind of you to point me in the right direction." And he goes that way, points her, show her out the door. But then he senses, he sees something outside, so he goes after her. Then all of a sudden, everything goes pitch black, and they're up against the wall of this building, and he puts on this thing, which I thought was a good effect as well. Like he wraps his like his cloth around his hand, they lifts it up, and then it shows all these demons, and it's like looks like a light. It's not fire, but it's like a light, and it goes and burns all these demons away. You can say like holy light or something like that, but it shows like a very good effect of how this light is, and it goes and burns all the demons away. And then Rachel Weisz throws up because, and Constantine's like, it's alright, it happens to everyone the first time. It's sulfur. So, because Rachel Weisz' character, she didn't believe that these things existed, but now she saw them, and now she believes it. And now she wants him to go see if what really happened to his sister. So he plans to go to hell, and like how the way he goes there, like he puts his feet in a bucket of water, and he holds her cat. And I like how good looking effect how she tells him to leave her apartment, and how the way it slowly shows her closing the door behind him, and then all of a sudden time freezes, and then it shows him in hell. And I thought this reputation, learn how to speak again, representation of hell, because it's in LA, but it's like LA, but everything is on fire. Everything's on fire, burned, and now all these demons are there. I thought it was a good representation of hell. The way it looked, I thought it looked good. And then he finds her there. Like she throws like her hospital band away, and you get this scene right here where he's reaching for it. All these demons are right there, and he has holy water in his pocket, so he presses it, soaks himself with it, and he goes back to the real world. That scene right there, which is also a good looking scene as well. And when she comes back through the door, when Rachel Weisz comes back through the door, and he's sitting there on the chair all smoking, because he was in hell. Everything's on fire, and he's like smoking. It's hot down there, so I thought that was like a good looking idea. He comes back and he's all smoking and stuff. So he goes and tells her that she did commit suicide, but of course you find out because the reason why she did this was to get in contact with Constantine. So she committed suicide for a good reason, not for no reason, for a good reason. So to have her sister contact Constantine about what's going on, and then with his other friend, the Reverend guy from the beginning. He's like since some because when he does this little thing, like his eyes roll back. So he finds that with the dead corpse of her twin sister, he feels something uneasy. Then he starts running to this convenience store, which I thought was another good looking idea. Like he starts going to the convenience store, he starts trying because he drinks. He always starts opening all these bottles, and nothing. He tries to drink it, but nothing's coming out of it. But when he puts it down, everything starts pouring out of it. So one bottle to another, nothing's coming out, but as soon as he puts it down, there's stuff pouring out of it. Nothing. Then he puts it down, it starts spilling out. What I thought was that's what I like about this one. It has a lot of ideas I thought they were really good. But then he starts probably like getting like a heart attack, but he starts choking into like cause he sees stuff coming out of his mouth. So I guess he's like choking to death and it's like on liquor, because I guess for what people are seeing, like the person's like this guy starts chugging down alcohol like all in front of us and stuff. And there's this other guy there. It's also a demon named Balthazar. He like rolls like this coin across his fingers. Then Constantine and Rachel Weisz are talking, and they get the call about the dead guy. Constantine finds that the symbol that's on his hand, it's like a circle with like a plus sign or an X for whatever angle you look at it. And he has his friend B-Man telling him what it is, and it's about it's about the devil's son named Mammon. He wants to come up to Earth and like rule the world, I guess, like build his own kingdom. That's what it's supposed to be. So, and then the guy, they try and hurry back to him, By the time when they finds him, the guy's like all covered in flies. Okay, that was like okay, seeing this guy all covered in flies. Ugh. So, but then we realize it's about the spear of destiny, and um, and I like especially he gets this weapon, which I really like this weapon that he has right here, this cross shotgun. I thought it was a cool looking weapon. He gets a cross shotgun. He goes to the sea. Balthazar starts to shoot him, but he has him in a chokehold. And I like he gets these brass knuckles with crosses on the knuckles. Starts beating him, punching him. Good idea, good choice of weapons with the cross shotgun and brass knuckles with crosses on it. And then throws holy water in his face. And I thought it was a good looking effect. I think it was like a really good makeup effect. The guy's face is like melting on one side, right here. Good looking makeup effect. Shows how the guy is a demon, but his face is melted with the holy water. He starts Keanu Reeves starts reading his rice. Man, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Then he tells him what's all about. Says that needs not only the Spirit of Destiny, but also a powerful psychic, which is Rachel Weisz, because she also tells him that she tells him that her and his sister, when they were kids, they used to see stuff, but Rachel Weisz, Angelina, she denied what she was saying, keeping saying that her sister was crazy, and that's why she had her committed, because she didn't want to admit that she was afraid and didn't want to see things what she was seeing. So then Rachel Weisz, she gets pulled back, breaking through wall after another, and Keanu Reeves is going after her, and then shows her a wide shot of outside on the building. And so now he goes and visits Papa Midnight, played by Dijmon Hounsou, and he says that he needs to use the chair. And I like the idea that it was an electric chair, not just a plain old chair, but just an electric chair. And water over on his feet so he can see what's the whole thing is about. Dijmon Hounsou is like, as Papa Midnight is like, "Are you sure about this?" No. So he sees like the whole thing about the guy with the spear finds all about to the psychiatric ward. He finds out what all this is about. Shia LaBeouf goes with them. He's making all these bullets for the cross shotgun, so he's gonna go help him. So they go to the psychiatric ward. Shia LaBeouf as Chaz. He puts this cross in the water system for the sprinklers, and Constantine comes in, finds all these demons in disguise in human form. He says hi, and he tells them you can all leave, or I'm going to deport you, or I'm going to deport all of you. Then and everyone's all silent, and he goes and says, "Go to hell." And he lights the sprinkler system, and then the whole sprinkler system is now turned to holy water. It's like burning all these demons. And this also was a good looking fight scene, because it reminded me of the opening of Blade. Because with the opening of Blade and how it was like raining all blood, and then Blade shows up and starts getting all these vampires, turning them all to ash. This was the same thing here, which I thought was like, oh cool, this is like the opening of Blade, which is a good thing. Like she's using the cross shotgun, good fun shotgun fire, turning all these demons to ashes as the sprinkler system's going on, just like the opening of Blade, except Blade used a sword, not a shotgun. So that was a cool scene, fun shotgun firefight. And then he finally goes that Rachel Weisz has been possessed by the son of the devil, and I like that Shia LaBeouf, he helps out Constantine as well. They're both he starts saying this chant the demon out, and Chaz is helping him as well, saying the chant with him as well. And of course, and then Shia LaBeouf, he gets killed. He gets like smacked up and down, and he dies. And then Gabriel comes in, like he pulls like this he has like these tattoos on his forearms, like puts them all together and says what was it? It's some kind of a chance like I grant to thee, or so I forget what the line was. But Gabriel comes in, and he's like, and it shows that she kind of like betrays God, and she wants to. She goes and blows him away, but then she wants to take the spear of destiny and kill, or no, in fact, not kill, but bring the demon out. But then John realized that he ways to do so. He cuts his wrist, and then time freezes before Gabriel stabs into Rachel Weisz. The time freezes, and then the devil is summoned. He summons the devil because the devil is the only person he would come onto Earth to only for Constantine. That's the only person he would come on to Earth for, is to take Constantine to hell with him. And then the devil, or Lucifer, played by Peter Stormare. I thought he was Peter Stormare. I thought he was an interesting choice to play as the devil. I thought he did a good job as the devil, wearing this wearing no shoes and in this fine white suit. I thought he played I thought he played a good representation of the devil. He tells that Gabriel is in there, and your son is in there as well, along with the Spirit of Destiny. So he's like, you've waited 20 years for me, so what's another 20 more seconds? So Peter Stormare, he goes in, he breaks the doors all in slow mo. The glass is all floating in slow mo. Good looking effect. He grabs Rachel Weisz, but the reflection on the floor, he's holding his son. I guess like now that Rachel, what was it? Forget what the line was. Yeah, but she tries to what she do. How I forget what the line that she said though, but she tries to hit the devil, but it stopped in front of his face. But then he says, "Guess someone doesn't have your back anymore. I guess God has abandoned her now." And then all of a sudden, her wings gets blown away, gets burned off, thrown into the pool, and to see that his son, through the reflection on the floor, his son is going back down into hell, and he goes back to Constantine, saying, What do you want, an extension? And he says no. He wants Isabel, Rachel Weisz's twin sister, to go to heaven, because for what she did, she deserves to go back to heaven. And then he says, okay, it's done. So now he holds up his end of the bargain. He's gonna take Constantine back to hell with him. He's like whistling. I can't whistle, so. But then he stops, like the ground is breaking. He can't take him back to hell because he sacrificed himself, And he says, the sacrifice. And he starts getting lifted back into heaven. And the devil's like, you can't take this one. He's mine. And I just love as Keanu Reeves, Constantine, he's going up, his back towards Lucifer, or the devil. He gives him the middle finger. I thought that was so funny. He's just like, as he's doing this, gives him the middle finger to the devil. I thought that was a good funny scene. But then the devil goes and says, "No, you're gonna live, Constantine. You are gonna live." So he grabs onto him, and then he just goes and digs right into his chest and literally just sucks all the cancer out of him. Sucks all the black stuff, the cancer right out of him. It's all in his hands, and he says, "You will live." So Constantine no longer has lung cancer. He literally sucked all of it out of him, and Angelina thanks him. Constantine gives her the Spirit of Destiny, tells him to hide it where no one can find it, not even him. And then, of course, I thought some people don't like this because as he's saying his words, instead of he no longer smokes, he goes and chews gum, which I thought some people don't like the scene. I'm like, okay, I thought it made sense to me because he's been given a second chance because. He's been given a second chance, and he's not going to start smoking again. Oh, he didn't learn his lesson from all this, and start smoking again. No, it made sense that he starts chewing gum so that way he can live longer. I thought the whole chewing gum made sense, but apparently to some people it doesn't. That's just a stupid idea. But to me, that made sense to me because he learned his lesson out of all this. He's not going to just go up and start smoking again and get lung cancer again. So I thought it was a good idea that him start chewing gum. But of course, that's why my brother said that the representation of they did a poor representation of Constantine because he's a chain smoker. He's supposed to keep on smoking. I mean, I was like, come on, that made sense, okay? That's what I mean. I don't get why people don't gets mad about him, chewing gum. It made sense. And then after the some people don't remember there's a post-credit scene is that he goes to Chaz's grave and leaves him his letter. Says, "You did good, kid." And he just starts walking. You see Shia LaBeouf as an angel, and he goes up into heaven. And Constantine goes and walks away. So I just don't get why this film gets so much hate. I have no idea why. I think this film is so very underrated. I think it's definitely a good comic book movie, which some people would disagree on me for it though, but I love this movie. I definitely love this movie. It's definitely one of my favorite DC movies, because it's by DC Comics and Vertigo though, but DC. It's definitely one of my favorite DC comics. And Keanu Reeves, I think he did such a fantastic job. I think, because a lot of people don't like Keanu Reeves as an actor, but I've always enjoyed him as an actor from all the movies he's been in, from the Bill and Ted movies, Speed, I love him in Speed, the Matrix films, which a long time I used to not care for the Matrix trilogy, but I'm glad I was wrong on that, because I do enjoy the Matrix trilogy. I thought Keanu Reeves did a good job on those films as well. John Wick, I absolutely love John Wick. And I've heard they're going to do a sequel. I just hope they don't mess it up, because I love the first movie. Keanu Reeves was absolutely badass in that movie. And I think he was badass in this movie. A lot of people are not a fan of him as an actor, but I've always been a fan of him as an actor. I thought Keanu Reeves did such a great job as John Constantine. He pulled off the character well, which some people don't like because they did alterations to the character. I thought he played the character off well. Yes, I know. They're always making change. When it comes to comic book movies, they're always changing some details to the characters. They do it all the time, so I was perfectly fine how Constantine was in this movie. I'm not complaining. The rest of the cast, I thought they did a fine job. Rachel Weisz did a good job. Shia LaBeouf, when he was in it, he was fine as well. Hounsou as Papa Midnight, he was fine as well. Tilda Swinton as Gabriel, I thought she was fine too. Peter Stormare, I thought he did a good job as the devil. I thought he was an interesting choice and how he good representation of the devil. I thought he pulled that off well. Overall, the cast did a really good job. And Keanu Reeves as John Constantine, he did a fantastic job. I love this movie. I'm probably just overpraising it, but why not? If you love a movie so much, why not? Because this film is underrated as hell. I ain't taking it back. A lot of people don't like this movie, but I do. I love this movie. It's definitely it's definitely in my top list of my most underrated movies. Even an underrated comic book movie. I like Green Lantern. A lot of people hate that movie. Because now with the new Deadpool, because the joke in that, because I've seen it from the trailer, the joke of it, oh, please don't make them super suit green or animated. That's just another referencing a joke that shits on the movie more. I like Green Lantern. Even my dad likes Green Lantern. But everybody, I would say 90% people hate the movie. I'm one of the few people in that 10% that likes the movie. But this film gets a lot of hate. I have no idea why. I love a lot of the ideas that's in the movie. The visual effects out there are very well done, spot on. Usually I'm like, oh, with the whole CGI. Everything nowadays is CG though. But but there's one of those few films that I can really care about. I thought the CG in this film was really well done. For Francis Lawrence's first film directing, compared to what speaking of first time directing, my rant on The Quest, for Jean-Claude Van Damme, for his first time directing, when he directed the action scenes, they are so very terribly now I was gonna say well done. Now they were terrible, especially coming from who does a lot of action movies. And for the first time he directed that movie, the action fight scenes are very piss poor. The action scenes are very well done, especially for Francis Lawrence's first time directing. The characters I cared about, and the score by Brian Taylor and Klaus Badelt, because both these people did separate scores to a lot of films, and I do like the score to the film. I thought that the score was good as well, and the ideas that I did like, with especially the cross shotgun that I absolutely love. Is a cool looking weapon, or even with the brass knuckles with the crosses on it. Ideas like when he has to use the chair, it's an electric chair. The idea or some the idea with the visual, how he does with the exorcism with the demon with a mirror. The idea that one of his friends lives behind a bowling alley. That was a good kind of a cool hideout, I guess. How hell looks, I thought was the way hell looks. I thought it was a good looking representation of hell. If there was a movie that's about heaven and hell, I thought this was another good representation of it. So, and then for 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, I disagree with that a lot. I would give this very much, if I were to be fair, maybe an 80 to 90% Rotten Tomatoes. That's what I would give it. 6.9, way too low for this movie on IMDb. I would give it much more higher. I would say, on average, maybe a 7.5 or even an 8.0 on IMDb. But that's just me, though. But yeah, and yeah, the TV show, I'm not interested in. I just rather watch this representation of Constantine, because Keanu Reeves, I thought he did such a great job as Constantine. But of course, my brother says, how they did Constantine in this movie was poor. They changed the comic book characters all the time in movies now, so I ain't complaining about it. So, and especially all this choice of ideas for the weapons, like the light that he burned all the demons, and how he goes into hell with the water. Or there's another instance where Rachel Weisz wanted to find out the truth, so Constantine had her in the bathtub. She had to be fully submerged in the water. And I love the scene where she sees what's going on, and Constantine is still holding her down until the point where the tub exploded, all water in the tub breaks. I thought that was another good scene as well, because she finds out the truth about it. It's another scene I forgot to talk about. So I love this movie. It's definitely such a criminally underrated movie. That's why I got the poster there, because I'm such a big fan of this movie. Definitely a very, very underrated movie. And I'll never understand the hate for this movie. I'll never will. Keanu Reeves, fantastic job as John Constantine. Definitely one of my favorite performances. The problem for me, I just don't get the hate for this movie. Because if anyone who's a fan of The Hunger Games and Francis Lawrence, he directed the sequels. If anyone was a fan of The Hunger Games, you should go and check out this film. This is the first film that Francis Lawrence has directed, and he did such a great job in his film debut. I Am Legend. I don't hate I Am Legend. It's just, that was a CG that for those monsters that bothered me for that movie. I don't hate I Am Legend, but it's just the biggest problem for me for that movie was the CG, which is funny because the CG in this film that he directed was great, but I Am Legend is like the complete opposite of the CG. So, but I thought, but Francis Lawrence for his first time directing, he did such a great job. The score I liked, the cast did a good job, especially Keanu Reeves as Constantine. The effects I enjoyed, the ideas I enjoyed. The characters I liked, like I said, Pure Stormare was an interesting choice as the devil. The stuff that made me laugh, like when Constantine is giving the middle finger as he's going up to the heaven, giving the middle finger to the devil. That I got a big laugh out of that. More of the lines he says, you know, like, "This is Constantine, John Constantine, asshole." So, very underrated movie, especially a very underrated comic book movie. It's definitely one of my favorite comic book movies, especially for a DC movie. It's definitely one of my favorites. So, and which is sad, also because I would love to see a sequel to this. I would have, but sadly we're not gonna get that. There was talks of a sequel, like This is like November 2012. Guillermo del Toro and Warner Bros. Considering a feature DC Comics of supernatural characters, which included John Constantine. But it was unconfirmed if it's a sequel to this film or if Keanu Reeves wanted to come back. Which is such a shame because I would have loved to see a sequel to this with Keanu Reeves coming back. But no. Oh, crap. So I dropped it. But no, but we're going to get a sequel to Man of Steel, which is Batman vs. Superman. So, no Constantine 2, we're just going to get a sequel to Man of Steel, which is Batman vs. Superman. I would say this is much better. I love this movie much better than Man of Steel, much better than Christopher Nolan's Batman films. I would say I've always liked this more than Batman vs. Superman already. For the trailers of Batman vs. Superman, not interested in. Which I did a video of that though, but I would say I would like this more than Batman vs. Superman. But that's just me though. But going on to 48 minutes, but I don't care. It's a long review. Why not give it a long review on a film that I absolutely love, and that's also said that's very underrated. So why not make this a long review? But yeah, I would love to have seen a sequel to this film. I would love to have seen a Constantine 2. But sadly, we're never going to get that now. Which is sad. So that's why I have that poster right there, because I'm a big fan of this movie. I love this movie. My brother likes the movie, but he says the character Constantine, he said, was piss poor. I'll never understand it, but that's my brother though. But like I said, I'll never understand with the hate for it though. But it's people's opinions though. But there are some people that do like this movie, so I'm not alone in this. So that's my review for Constantine 2005. Trying to think of anything else. No. Said everything about it. Got the comic right here, which I thought was a good thing. Which also that I'm glad I got this 2-disc edition. This film does deserve a 2-disc edition. From this person from Time, a smart ride. There is both eye and mind candy in this cleverly berserk spawn of Blade Runner. I can definitely see that though. So, yeah, I can definitely see that. So, like I say, I agree. I would agree with that. That's a good scene right there. So, anyway, yeah, that's my review for Constantine. very underrated film. Deserves more love and respect. If anyone's a fan of DC Comics, please check this out if anyone hasn't seen it. So yeah, very underrated movie, but if you disagree, disagree. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review, and we'll see you later. For me, two thumbs up for Constantine. Later.